That's what I'm all about. Hunger in my eyes, vengeance in my mouth. They don't want no altercation. Situation gon' get critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways. They back in every verse. Plus revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark. And I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blaze in every season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I'm feeding. Now they walking with them angels. So I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas fed and breathing, criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak. Nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas bathing facts off. Better bear witness, I'm back off. I be ripping shit like sex off. Dumb all boxed out. Behind me say I cut full. No room for emotion. So I pour my heart out. This road hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't U.P.K, then they in the way. My niggas righteous. They real, they down with something. Flow so deep, they drown a motherfucker. He say he in the truth, oh yeah? Bro, this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my home. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No right me, no head. And I ain't leaving this body, then live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm U.P.K, tell them absolutely. And I ain't tripping my ways with nothing. Gotta execute it. Cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit, I be thinking. Watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart. And Alana, she's so beautiful. But they ain't like other babies. And they dead and pop with usual. Now I'm busy cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about the shit I used to do in that 98 day. The 10 never cease. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was spilling. The lies are sweet. Tried everything. I guess me and Yohana had to meet. Now I make the blind see. And I make the dead speak. And teach both my little girls the day that they lie with a man. They better bring me blood and band sheets. Chaos smash the town. This Glock match my handpiece. And I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house. Or take a check. 144 and then black trench on some hitman shit. Shit call me 47. Praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame. Ask why tell them I'm loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign. Loyal to the king. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Loyal to the king. The devil can't have the piece of loyal to the king. Bring that hot blood. You can say loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign. Loyal to the king. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Loyal to the king. The devil can't have the piece of loyal to the king. Bring that hot blood. You can say loyal to the king. war for your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devil let me in this damn slaughter. Yeah. Now these superficial words out this hanging book. About to take these rappers back to school. No representing the hook. They crossed the line. Ain't no coming back. You became no cowards. The only thing sweet is the honey check. Righteous is the Lord. Give me rest from my sorrow. And hang down death for the devils. There's no tomorrow. Why? Cause they not asleep. A man is still cool. You see a flag in the flesh. I see more than a pitchfork. So please believe it. The women is a demon. And I ain't gon' go for them to free me. I ain't been to me. Because the power is why it's like till they grow like ceiling. You got this nigga on his knees. They wanna have peace. We sleeping let this bitch burn at 1,000 degrees. No land in the bosom of her knees. I told her I'd do anything she please. As I squeeze on the pebble thieves. What you mean? You gon' die for your crime. That's longer than you. So war for your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devil let me in this damn slaughter.
The police just shot him for no apparent reason. No reason at all. They asked for license and registration. That's the police officer over there that did it. With the black one. I can't really do shit with the gun. I can't believe that you did this. I'm fucking.
You gon' die for your crime. That's longer than you. So war for your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devil let me in this damn slaughter. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. The Lord said, confession good for the soul. So right now, all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was My life would been a lot different if I fell upon the wrong swing. Was too sincere for a wicked game. Shame the Lord's name. Now we afflicted with pain. All I ever wanted was to be respected by stand-up niggas. Not knowing that the handcuffs custom made. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. The decisions that I made from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. The decisions that I made from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I ain't lying, I was close to dying. Knew I wanted to live, but I wasn't trying. I was defiant, not knowing that this ain't how we live. This just how they design. Cause when you in the streets, you get more endemic. It ain't no tell you gonna be on papers and no restrictions. My father said a hard head will make a soft ass. I didn't care, I wanted fear when I walked past. In a place where a black man's blood is cheap. I thank the Lord for the day I was on 8th Street. Pissing in the cup, back and forth to court, fell to DC school. I swear it felt like I cried on that fucking porch. The Lord said, my sheep, they ain't hear my voice. That's why I'm U.P.K. I told them I ain't have a choice. They said God ain't 50-50, it was gonna come to pass. The Lord called me out the world, and that's alright. All it was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. The decisions that I made from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. The decisions that I made from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I.S.U.P.K until it hit the fan. I want power and a throne, nigga, fuck the grams. All I wanted was to be a gangster, but I was real as a righteous man. And now I got the upper hand. Yeah, I promote this brand. Correct all multitudes until they all understand. If I can't get that crown, Lord, then put me in the hands of someone more money back me this hit man. We were listening on the pain that was felt. Shit, I was in the jail. Shit, I needed help. But 12 was locked up in the judge, but man on the shelf. Heavy crimes it felt like I was left by myself. All I wanted was to impress niggas with my grind. Now I ain't trying to do shit that nobody but Muhammad. Cause most these niggas lie, grind stuck. One time when I'm on time, he better be a cutthroat. Cause all I ever wanted was to smash my opponents. Don't need second cash, not knowing it wouldn't last. You gotta hope yourself by a token. It's all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I do, I was a gangster. The decisions that I made from the Lord's anger. Really doing all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. warrior with the hands. That's what I'm all about. Hunger in my eyes, vengeance in my mouth. They don't want no altercation. Situation gon' get critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways. Pay back in every breath. Just revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark. And I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blaze in niggas season. Got plenty food for thought. Just got feet. Now they walking with them angels. So I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas fairly free and criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak. Nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas baby backs off. Better bear with some back off. I be ripping shit like sex off. Dumb dogs all barked out. I say I cup full. No room for emotion. So I pour my heart out. This road hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't U.P.K, then they in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down to something. Flow so deep, they drown the motherfucker. He say he in the truth, oh yeah? Well, it's the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No right me, no head. And I ain't leaving this spot and just live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm U.P.K, tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing. Gotta execute it. Cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking. Watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart. And Alana, she's so beautiful. But they ain't like other babies. And they dead at proper usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about the shit I used to do in that 98 Navy. The 10 never cease. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was spittle. The lies are sweet. Tried everything. I guess me and Yohanna had to meet. Now I make the blind see. And I make the dead speak. And teach both my little girls the day and day. Lie with a man. They better bring me bloody band sheets. Chaos match the time. This Glock match my handpiece. And I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house. Or take a check. 144 and then black trench on some hitman shit. She call me 47. Praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame. Ask why I tell them I'm loyal to the king. Until the righteous way. Loyal to the king. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Loyal to the king. The devil take care. Get some loyal to the king. Bring that hot blood. You can take loyal to the king. Until the righteous way. Loyal to the king. I walk that straight lane to break the chain. Loyal to the king. The devil take care. Get some loyal to the king. Bring that hot blood. You can take loyal to the king.
Yeah, Shalom Israel. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 125th Street, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. I am priest and officer Yakad. Tonight is our Hebrew class, the Lashawan Qadash. Right, it's done every Friday night at 7 p.m. Right, where we come out and give, the breakdown of our culture through our ancient tongue, which is ancient Hebrew, right, which belongs to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Not the so-called Jewish man in Israel right now. They are not the real Jews. They are so-called Jewish converts. But you cannot have Jewish converts. The only way that you can be a Jew is from the bloodline, right? So you have to be of the bloodline descendants of the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. And only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians fit those descriptions, fit that bloodline to be called Jews from the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So tonight we're going to continue, getting, the breakdown, getting the understanding of every single thing that our history and our culture has in relation to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right, so tonight we're going to continue with the basics as we did before, which is the Hebrew alphabet, right, which are characters, right? So as we go through, we'll be able to get the understanding in the different aspects of what it is we're actually doing. Again, like, share, and subscribe to all our social media pages, Twitter, Facebook, and we are on TikTok now. So check out I.S.U.P.K TikTok, all right? And, really get into everything that we are doing in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General Yahanna. As you can see now, it's not getting any better in the world right now. India is in a mess, right? Deservedly so, for all the oppression and all these stuff that they have done to the nation of Israel throughout the years, throughout history, from biblical times even to now, where Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians has been under oppression. Every single nation under the sun is going to get their just due when our King, you understand, cracked the sky, who is called Jesus Christ, Yahweh in the Hebrew, comes down and really put every single other nation into slavery. So we have the coronavirus ravishing all over the world. India is getting the heavy hand of the Most High at this time. Over 350,000 new cases a day. They can't even find places to burn people, bury or otherwise. All the resources are shut. And all that is because of what? Not because of the white man. All this is because of what? The Most High casting his judgment upon the nations. Right? So that is just a little snippet of what is actually happening around as well. We have classes on Sunday night, which is local class. We have online classes. We have Sunday night, which is scripture breakdown with Officer Galawan. That's on Sunday night as our camp leader. On Mondays, we have history with Officer Makako Bal. On Tuesdays, we have brotherhood with Officer Sawapi Allah. On Wednesdays, we have the law class with Officer Mafkwaya. On Thursdays, we don't have any local class, but we do stream the online class from headquarters with General Mahaiman with the scripture breakdown. That's on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Immediately after the scripture breakdown, we have Cross the Line Radio, right, with Captain Tazarek and Captain Katazar, which is a call-in radio show. Get all the questions answered at that time, as well as you can type in your questions for the scripture breakdown with General Mahaiman. On Friday nights, in the local class, we have the Lashawan Qadash by myself, Officer Yakad. This is what we're doing here tonight. And on Saturdays, we have the Sabbath service, which starts at 10 a.m., right? Also done by myself as well as other brothers from time to time, right? Also, not to forget or not to leave out, on Monday nights as well, right? On the main class, or I should say on the from headquarters, we have scripture breakdown as well with General Mahaiman, right? That's on Monday nights as well. And immediately after scripture breakdown on Monday nights from headquarters, we have Black Watch with Commanding General Yahanna, who is the leader of the nation of Israel right now. Right? Commanding General Yahanna brings all the goods, brings everything that you need, and everything that's happening to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians throughout the globe, throughout the world. All right, so tonight he has classes on Saturday nights, right? That's Black Watch. We get all the information Monday nights and also on Wednesday nights. So tune into Commanding General Yahanna, get all the information, get plugged in to what is happening through all the world with the nation of Israel. So tonight, once more, we're gonna go into the alphabet, and as well, we're gonna go into the 100 most common verbs, right, that we use in the ancient Hebrew, right? The common phrases, common verbs. So we'll be able to go into more, and you'll get an understanding of how we speak our language. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have always been a separate nation. And that is something that has always been done throughout our generations. Everything that we do is different as in compared to our oppressors, right? Sometimes we try to follow our oppressors. in our spirit, there is something different about us. And this is what we're trying to get in with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So, as per usual, we go into the basics, which is the Hebrew alphabet. And once we get that down, then we'll go into the 100 most common verbs that we use in the Hebrew. So as you know, these are not letters but characters. So we have the A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, Al, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Ata. For those who are tuned in, all right, I will give you all a moment just to take it down, and then from there you'll be able to, continue to get everything that you need. And understanding the Lashawan Qadash. So again, once more, we gotta go on our social media pages. I.S.U.P.K.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and again on TikTok. So the 100 most common verbs. And a verb is, is a descriptive word, something that helps, describe something. So we're gonna get the full definition of what is a verb. So let me see if I can pull that up. Once you're taking that down, right? So let's see. So some common verbs that we would get into, stuff that the things that we would do in a everyday basis, right? So common words that we use every day is some of these verbs that we're going to use. So I can take this down now and start to get into these common, very common verbs. So we can share all our stuff on the YouTube and Facebook. Good. So you take this off now. And let's get into tonight's class. So we have the 100. Common verbs. So this is it. So some of the most or the more common verbs that we use in every day, which will make it easy for us to understand the Hebrew, right, is words like open. And the Hebrew word let me get this here. Ha, ha, ha. Right? So papa, pa, pa, papa, ka, right? Which is pa, ka, like it's papa, ka. Pata. Right? That is open in the Hebrew. Right? So you say you want to open something is patak. Patak. That is open in the Hebrew. And the other word you're going to do is direct. That's right. On a few, we have direct, we have gather. Now, all these are words that we use on an everyday basis. Very. Right, so Tazana. Tazana. That is direct. Oh, Slovakia. It's not Tasna. That's a wow. That's it. That's a wow. That is direct. So if somebody asks if okay, I want to direct you to the corner there. Tazawa is direct in the ancient Hebrew. To open something is patak. Right? Open the door. Patak. That's open. And open a can. Open a window. The Hebrew word for open is patak. Then direct. You say speed direct or direct your attention to this corner here. Tazawa. Tazawa. Direct. The next Hebrew word is gather. Right? Gather. So the Hebrew word for gather is pakah. Kwa ba kwa batiza. Kwa batiza means to gather. Kwa ba tiza. Kwa batiza is the word gather in the ancient Hebrew. So you want to gather up some food. You want to gather up some stones. You want to gather up some money. Kobatiza means to gather. Kobatiza. The other word is bury, which is pabara. Or koba. Koba means to bury. Koba means to bury. So I'm going to give you a minute. Just to take those down. Get it locked. Because it's good to have those in your arsenal when you're learning Hebrew. Right, so once you have those down, you'll be able to take them off right now. So let's go to the others. So this is just a few. So now, it's a different color this time. So now we're going to go into other word. So we had bury. So the other word or command verb is set apart. So set apart in the Hebrew is Qadash. Qadash. In the Hebrew, Qadash and a shah. Qadash. It means Qadash also means holy or separate, right? So when you talk about the holy scriptures, you're talking about the Qadash scripture, which is set apart. When I say Israel, is holy, the Holy One is separate and apart from everything else, right? When you say we are a holy nation, we are a separate nation from all other nations on the face of the earth. So set apart is or holy means Qadash, right? It's Qadash in the Hebrew, which is a very common word we use in Hebrew, Qadash, which means separate or set apart. Right? And we have this other word here, which is rise. And rise in the Hebrew is kwam. Right, so it's kwam. Right, so kwam. So this is the Hebrew word for rise. This kwam. So at time to time you may see us, when we saluting each other and giving, that acknowledgement to the nation of Israel, we would say kwam yasharal, right? So kwam yasharal means rise Israel, right? Kwam yashala, rise Israel, right? So that is what it means in the ancient Hebrew, to rise. We mean to bring the nation of Israel up. So kwam yashala is rise Israel. Right, so that's kwam, which just means rise in the Hebrew. So the other word we have is what we do with each other. So when we say kwam yashala, we also say, we call them out to the nation of Israel. So the word call out is the word is kora'ah. Right? Kora'ah means call out. So you say you want to call out your brethren, you would say down here, kora'ah. Kora'ah. Separate. So that is call out. And the other one we're going to do, so you call out your brethren, or that means, call out, you invite me, or you're speaking out to something, right? That's call So now, when you call out to someone, your brethren, say call we seen. What's the vibes? Come true. You want a person to what? Come near. Right? So the word for come near is come. Right, so come near is hora. Hora. It's hora, which means to come near. So you say hora, come near. So somebody's across the road or the other way off, we say hora, to come close, come near. Right? So these are some of the more common Hebrew verbs. As you know, let's take about the definition again. These are descriptive words. Right, so let's look at the full definition of a verb. So a verb, right? This is from the Oxford Dictionary of Oxford Language Dictionary. Right? A verb, a word used to describe an action, state, or occurrence, and forming the main part of the predicate of a sentence, such as hear, become, happen. Right? So you're using it to help describe an action or something that is taking place, which is the verb, right? So the verb is a word that is not conventionally used as a verb. You see, that's a second definition. So that is the meaning of what a verb is. So as you all have these down, give it one moment, and then we're gonna jump into some more. So again, it's 100 most common. I mean, we just start off, so we have some more to go. All right, so we're going to take this off. Let's go down to the other set. Hundred most common verbs. So some more common verbs that we use is when we bounce up each other or we meet each other. So we have meet. After we meet, well, once we meet each other, we will see each other. So we go those two. So to meet is qua. Or a. Okay. Or a, I think. Right? So the meet is qua, ra, or ra. Quara means to meet. So I meet someone for the first time, quara, quara, quara. That means to meet in the ancient Hebrew. So you meet this person, so that means you see this person, see them face to face. And the Hebrew word for see is ra'ah. Ra'ah. That's the Hebrew word for see. So you meet the person, see the person or the individual. Now we all start to talk about different stuff. And let's just say you meet your potential wife or girlfriend. So when you meet each other, see each other, and then you will increase via children. So you will increase. And I know for this Corona season, the nation of Israel has increased exponentially. Though we have a lot of deaths, due to the coronavirus, we have seen and will continue to see a boom, or should I call it a baby boom, all through the nation of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Why is all these other nations going down? So increase is Rabah, Rabah, to increase. So once we increase, then the population would rise. So we have rise and then we have raise. So if you want to raise up the numbers, or you want to raise up my hand, or you're looking at, the water, or you want to raise up someone who get a promotion, you want to raise them up to supervisor, raise them up to foreman, etc. The context we're using here raise, as in the other context of rise, which is very similar. Raise and rise. So the word raise in Hebrew is Rawa'ah, Ra, or Ma, or Rawam, right? Just like Kwam Yashala, this is Rawam. So raise, right? Rise is Kwam, and raise is Rawam. So we have meat, which is Korah, C, Ra'ah. We have increase, which is Rabbah. And then we have rise, which is Rawam. So that is some very common words that we use every day, common verbs, which is a descriptive aspect of a thing that you are doing or saying, etc. So I'm going to give you another minute, take those down. All right, so when I take these off, there's some fresh words. So after we have, meet each other, see each other, increase, that's a, you gotta understand how, men and women operate. So you would say a man would pursue or go after, right? Pursue after something, or pursue after a woman, or the woman may pursue after the man, which is how it's supposed to be. So you see here now the word pursue in the Hebrew, pursue they might pursue an animal. They may be hunting, chasing the animal, that is pursue. Or police may be pursuing a suspect. Right? That is the definition of it or the context of it. So pursue is radar. Radar. Right, which is to pursue. Radar, which is to pursue. So you may pursue anything. Some person may pursue, let's say, a particular course, or you might say in the pursuit of happiness, which means you're going after something, you're chasing after something. Right? That is the meaning of pursuit, which is radar in the Hebrew. So the other word we have here is feed. Which is another very common use. You want to feed someone. And the Hebrew word for feed is rawa. 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 That is feed. Oh, so lucky. I would have the wrong one. It's not that. Just gotta check this one. Right. That's what I said. So feed. The Hebrew word for feed is ra'ai. Is ra'ai. 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 which is to feed. So when you're feeding someone, they are eating something, right? Or you may have animals feeding in a pasture, animals feeding on a farm, right? So you would feed. Next common word is inquire. So inquire. U-I-R-E. Inquire. So you may inquire about someone, or inquire about a thing, a place. So it's an action. You want to find out something, so you're inquiring about it. So you would inquire is sha'ar, sha'ar. Or sha'ala. 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 To inquire. So you might want to inquire of probably some food that was there earlier on. You want to find out what remained from the food, right? So you inquire, shala'a, right? Sha'ala, about the food. And in essence, you want to find out how much remained. So the Hebrew word for remain is sha'ala. This is separate connectors, sha'ara, which is remain. So you have pursue, which is radab, which means to pursue. Radab. Then we have feed, ra'ai, ra'aiha, which means to feed. Then you want to inquire, sha'ala, sha'ala, to inquire. And to remain is sha'ara. So we're going to take our next minute, get those down clear, and then we go to another group. I mean, you know, we've seen how important it is for us to really get back to our history, our culture, because every other nation has their culture, every other nation has their language, except blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Through conquest and through slavery, we have been destroyed as a people. You understand? We have lost our heritage. You understand? That in itself was scriptural. And also just to mention, which is a little sidebar, you know, we just had our 52nd annual Lord's Passover, right, which is kept in 14149 Player Street, Houston, Texas. You know, it was a very successful 52nd annual Passover, and it was a glorious time to see our brothers and sisters, see the nation of Israel coming together. Right? It was really amazing to see how the brethren, could come together and really honor our King. You understand? And really celebrate, the destruction of our enemies, and how we as a people, as a nation of Israel, was saved from our enemies. And that was a glorious thing. And after the Passover, which was on the 24th of April, Saturday last, right? On Sunday, we began the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And the Feast of Unleavened Bread lasts for 7 days, which is 8 days. So, running from Sunday to Sunday. So, the Feast of Unleavened Bread ends on this Sunday, which is May the 2nd, right? So, we're not supposed to have anything with leaven from Sunday last until this Sunday. Anything that has leavening agents like yeast, baking soda, and any other leavening agents, we are not supposed to have that in our house. If you have any of those leavening agents, you're supposed to be out your house. You're not supposed to be eating anything with any leavening, right? And for some persons, it will be kind of tough because they are accustomed to certain type of foods. But this is just a reminder, you understand, and a commemoration of what we had to endure coming out of slavery, coming out of Egypt. So because of that, it was a remembrance of what we had to go through. So we had to move in haste, you understand, not being able to have our bread rise. So it was just organize quick, make it dough, no time to put yeast in it. As soon as the death angel came and destroyed all the firstborn of Egypt, that was the turning point of our slavery at that point in time. Where the Most High, with a mighty hand, carried out the nation of Israel out of Egypt. You understand? And that was a glorious thing. So we're going to take this, we're going to get in a few more. Of these common verbs that we use in Hebrew. So, another common verb that we use we just had in feed, we had inquire. Now we have the word swear. And it's a common word used among Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians When we speak, you say like, boy, I swear, if you didn't see that again, boy, I swear, if that man really lash me, that is just, the common slang that, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians use. And, it's almost as if, okay, well, somebody asks a man, boy, I swear I'm telling the truth. It's a common word, a common slang. It's a descriptive something. It shows that, you have, you're sure about this action. I swear I did what I did. I swear I saw what I saw. So all these are action, or descriptive verbs. Right? So swear in the ancient Hebrew is shabai. Shabai. So sha ba I. Shabai, which is swear in the ancient Hebrew. Right, so another common word we have is burst. So you might say, okay, you had a burst of energy. Or you would have, let's say, carrying a bag and the bag burst. Right? Or we would say in our common slang, bust. The bag bust, but really burst. You want to put it in the English too. Right? So burst in the Hebrew is shabbat. Shabbat, which means to burst. Shabbat, burst. The other word here we have is turn back. So you may be going on the road and you had to turn back to get something at home. You may forget something. Turn back. Or you might say, okay, I'm not turning back from where I am going. I'm not changing. I'm not turning back to the person I used to be. All right, so the word turn back in Hebrew is shavah. 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 That means to turn back. Another common word is bend down. We would say, I bend down and pick up, my phone on the ground. Bend down and pick up some fruits. Bend down and pick up some mango. Right? To bend down in the Hebrew is shaka. The shaka. Shaka. So again, I'm going to give you all a few minutes to get down these few more. Like, share, and subscribe to all our social media pages. So tune in this Sunday. We have the closing of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Again, it's a Sabbath service. Now this is where you get to see how we are supposed to keep these feasts. And the funny thing is that the Christian church do not celebrate the feasts that are recorded in the Bible. They celebrate everything else. They celebrate Easter, they celebrate Christmas, they celebrate Diwali, they celebrate every other pagan, every other god, every other thing except what the Most High has put there that we are supposed to keep. You understand? And this is the witchcraft and the sorcery that they put on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They tell us that those things that are done away with, which is far from the truth, which is far from what blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are supposed to be doing. We are supposed to be keeping the Lord's Passover, keeping the Feast of First Fruits, keeping the Feast of Unleavened Bread. All these are things that is ordained for the nation of Israel, for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This is what we're supposed to be. For this, what I will do, I think we'll hold it up here for tonight. Again, like, share, and subscribe to all our social media pages. And if you have any questions, you can go on I.S.U.P.K.com, and then you will be able to get the contact for our camp leader, Officer Lashawan, and from there you'll be able to answer any questions that you have. Again, we are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, New York, under commanding Gen.YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the word. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, right? Which is, you can find this in Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3 from verse 8 to 10. It means 10th in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced Ma'ishara, right? 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give. Right, upcoming Holy Convocation, we have the closing of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right, which is on May the 2nd, right, at sundown. That is this Sunday, which is the closing of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Remind Akim and Akwakin to check on social media, go to I.S.U.P.K.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and we're also on TikTok, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, they need to start wearing all black, right? Like boots, like shirt, like pants, like headscarf,